Okay, hello everyone out there in YouTube land. It's Josh, Trying Tech here, and I'm gonna be honest. I was I was not planning on doing a video on this. To be honest, I just got over pretty much my whole family being sick, and then a couple days ago celebrating my wife's birthday, and a lot of this stuff went down over the weekend when I was taking care of sick kids and then during my wife's birthday. So that's why I'm a little bit late coming to the party when it comes to addressing this. And honestly, I wasn't going to address it. It's been covered damn near to death, but I feel a need to because at this point, I've had I've had people fire shots at me, so I feel a need to kind of snap back and actually reply to or address this. So first off, unless you've been hiding under a rock when it comes to gaming news, I'm sure no one is unaware who's watching this video of what occurred with the Diablo Immortal reveal over the weekend. So I'm not going to get into that. Um, Needless to say, it was not well received. Okay, by the fans that this was revealed to. For multiple reasons, it was not well received. And then Blizzard, instead of listening to feedback, kind of made matters worse in their reaction, both in their responses and in their reaction to criticism and dislikes and feedback interaction on their trailer reveal videos. So again, I'm not going to fully get into that, but what I am going to get into is the uh, quote unquote journalists, games journalists, okay, and I use that term in the loosest fashion ever, and quote unquote gamers who are defending Blizzard and attacking uh, Diablo fans for basically not being happy with Diablo Immortal. Okay? Now, before I get any further into this, full disclosure, I myself am not a Diablo fan. Okay? I'm not. I have nothing against the game. I just haven't, I really haven't played it. I never really got into it. Just recently downloaded Diablo 3 for the Switch, and I'm going to check that out, get my feet wet with that, and see how it goes. If I like it, I may end up getting the full pack on PC. But all that aside, I myself personally am not a Diablo fan. I had a lot of friends who are gamers who are hardcore Diablo fans. I had friends when I was in high school growing up that played Diablo 2 to death. I remember being in scripture study class, and one of my friends would be falling asleep during seminary, and I'd ask him why he was having such a hard time staying awake, and it's because he would be up late just spending hours playing Diablo 2. So I do understand just how hardcore the fans get into this game. Again, it's just something I just never had played myself. I am going to check out Diablo 3 though, and I may check out some of the earlier games in the series. Okay. So that being said, I think honestly, my perspective is from an outsider looking in. Okay. I do understand though to have a beloved IP that you like, that you love, that you care about deeply, that you've invested a lot of time and money into, get bastardized into a mobile port because it's happened with the Tales of series, the Final Fantasy series, Star Ocean. Okay, I mean honestly, like I can't be bothered to finish Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness or whatever the frick it was called. Um, it wasn't honestly a good enough game to hold my attention, and then rather than focus on making another decent sequel, what do we get? We get a gacha system and a lazy half-ass Star Ocean mobile game. So I understand the feeling. Okay, and I've played many mobile games of these beloved IPs that they range anywhere from absolutely horrible to meh to this one's okay. You know, so I understand. I know what it's like, and it doesn't make me happy when instead of giving me a quality game, I get these shoddy mobile ports of the Japanese RPGs that I know and love and grew up with. Okay, what I do have an issue with on a personal level is these people that are and the games journalists and the supposed gamers that are attacking people who are criticizing Diablo Immortal. And that I do have an issue with because people have a right to voice dissent, okay? People are entitled to feel a certain way and voice their opinion and voice their criticism, okay? What people are not entitled to is to dox people, harass people, threaten their families, destroy property. Okay, when you're doing things like that, you've then taken your right and now you're infringing on other people's rights, and that's where your rights end. Okay, so when your rights start infringing on other people's rights, and I don't talk about offending someone, I'm talking about like you are threatening people or you're hurting people. Okay, you're now infringing on another person's rights. So that's what I do feel personally about, and so this is more kind of a free speech issue without being attacked than hey, you know, what side of the fence you are on when it comes to Diablo Immortal. As far as Diablo Immortal itself, it's a mobile game. It looks mediocre. It looks like a lazy half-ass cash grab, and it looks like it's going to be monetized to death. And looking at the history of NetEase, that looks like pretty much on track. And NetEase makes a bunch of Diablo-like clone games, anyways, and this looks like nothing more than a reskin of their game. Okay, that aside, that's my personal feelings about it. What is it? I think the main issue is that Blizzard revealed this in the context they revealed it in, and the method that they revealed it in at BlizzCon, where their audience is PC gamers. It's their hardcore audience. Okay, this is not people that are casual gamers. All right. So the first article, the one that started a lot of this, is an article from Mashable. Uh, Mashable, they range anywhere on the carcinogen scale from 10 being uh, deadly cancerous and 1 being I feel a slight burn. I'd say they rate anywhere on the 8 to 9 scale of highly cancerous. Okay, and they're right up along there with Kotaku and Polygon. And Polygon to me is absolutely cancerous. The only reason I actually read anything with a Polygon article is sometimes they offer some good affiliate link deals. Other than that, I could give a crap less what these supposed journalists say when it comes to gaming. But they wrote an article called "Diablo Immortal is actually fun, you entitled babies." First off, yeah, that's a really good article headline. Um, this is by Kellen Beck. I don't know anything about this Kellen Beck guy. Like I said, I don't really read Mashable. It was brought to my attention, this article, by some of the other Facebook videos that and YouTubers that have been posting on this. So he starts out, when Diablo Immortal was revealed at BlizzCon on Friday, I thought it looked cool. A lot of people disagreed and immediately began complaining both online and in person about this apparent slight, this bastardization of their franchise, he puts that in quotes, this complete abandonment of rational thought by a company that routinely creates some of the best and most successful games to ever exist. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. First off, no one said that this was their franchise, quote unquote. No one said that crap. They said they love the franchise. They said they care about the franchise. I didn't hear any of the criticism say, "This is my franchise and how dare you do this." So I don't know where they're getting this from. Okay. Um and then a company that routinely creates some of the best and most successful games to ever exist. Uh I'm going to disagree with you there, Mr. Kellen Beck. Blizzard made some of the best and most successful games maybe 6 years ago, back when Diablo 3 came out, back when the expansions came out for it. But other than since Diablo 3, name one actually really good title that Blizzard has made. I mean, honestly, since Activision has taken over Blizzard, they've kind of gone to shit. And if you mention Overwatch as a successful game, yes, Overwatch is a successful game. That's why they had to, one, sell us the game, and then two, throw in loot boxes into Overwatch to pull more money from you. And the loot boxes were so hated that they pulled the loot boxes out. It was so much backlash. So please don't cite Overwatch as a successful game because it's not. I wouldn't have bought it unless it was on sale, and I got it, and it was deeply, deeply discounted. I think I got it for like 50 or 75% off, and even then, other than maybe doing some game testing, I like really feel like I got ripped off, and I kind of wanted my money back because it's garbage. All right, but that's my opinion, and guess what? The people that are looking at Diablo Immortal and say that this looks like a lazy half-ass cash grab and it looks like garbage, that's their opinion. And they're entitled to it. But no, no, you can't disagree because if you do, you're an entitled crybaby. Guess what, you entitled crybabies? I played Diablo Immortal at BlizzCon shortly after it was revealed, and it's a lot of fun. Okay? So he goes on to spout about how great this is. All right. And he's like talking about these features. These are standard features that are in every single Diablo clone and action RPG that is on mobile today. None of this stuff is special. You move around using a digital analog stick while all your abilities are arranged on the right side of the screen. It's pretty similar to how the game works with a console controller. No, it's not. Because with a console controller, one, touchscreen controls will never, especially when emulated touchscreen controls, will never be better than physical controls. And anyone that says otherwise is, well, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you're stupid. Okay? If you think that emulated touch controls are better than physical controls, then you're a moron. Okay? You just are. And I'm saying that because like tell me someone who actually thinks that physical touch controls are better. Um and he goes on. He says I am a huge Diablo fan. I doubt that. Okay? And gosh. So he goes on to say, "You are entitled to nothing. Game companies owe you nothing. You don't just get to have whatever you want, then throw a tantrum when your own personal dreams don't come true. Blizzard has abandoned the core Diablo franchise just because, oh, hasn't abandoned the core Diablo franchise just because it created a mobile game. Really, guy? This is this is this is what you want to call us out for throwing a tantrum when our personal dreams don't come true." So, uh, in that case, I could bring up another article from Kotaku. And this just happened a few days ago. Okay, so this is Kotaku. Again, this is probably one of the top three cancer games media sites. So now this guy's at Mashable, I got it, but the school of thought's the same. That we're not happy with it. You don't get to throw a tantrum when your own personal dreams come true. But on the other side of the coin, here Blizzard is having to explain why Overwatch still doesn't have a black woman hero. And again, different IP, but it's still Blizzard. So it says Overwatch fans were disappointed with Ashe. Should know that 6 new heroes are in the works, Blizzard told Kotaku. And that fans hoping for more diversity in the popular game's cast of characters will hopefully find what they're looking for in upcoming updates. Okay, so first off, let me just remind you Blizzard has created a game here with Overwatch that I will say is very diverse. I mean, you've got an Asian samurai guy, you've got a South Korean woman with a robot, a bunny robot, um, someone that is most likely a lesbian. Okay, I mean, if she's not, my jaw would be on the floor. Um, a Nigerian man, a couple of Egyptian characters, and then a cowboy and a hamster. So these fans said they weren't happy with it, and so they said, why isn't there a black female in the game? Okay, so you don't see these games medias calling these people entitled crybabies, right? They're they're asking no. Instead, they're asking Blizzard for an explanation. Why don't you have black women in your game? Okay, so here, Doomfist, Nigerian man, Farah is an Egyptian woman, Lucio is a Brazilian DJ, and there's black women in the game supporting Cass. Okay, so here we have the other side of the coin. Fans. I use that term loosely. These are people that I honestly think they go on Twitter just to find something to be outraged about. But that's another topic. So these people are expressing outrage, are being unhappy with it, and you don't see Kotaku calling these people out and calling them entitled crybabies. But if we have legitimate concerns about a game that looks like it's going to be heavily monetized and is looking like just based off the gameplay footage and people that played it and their anecdotal evidence and experience saying that this feels like every other single cheaply made Chinese action RPG, loot heavy, grind heavy, monetization heavy port, you are entitled, baby. Grow up. We're told to grow up. Okay, so like I said, I, on a personal level, don't give a damn about a mobile port of Diablo. I think they did it in bad taste. I think where they did it, they could have revealed this 100 different ways. They could have done like a direct like Nintendo does, like a Nintendo Direct. And I know that's more so Nintendo's thing, but other companies can do that. You know, they could have maybe given a teaser for Diablo 4, and then afterward, or before the teaser for Diablo 4, they could have said, hey, while you're waiting for this, you can play this. And maybe incorporate a way to incorporate your data from Diablo Immortal into Diablo 4. Again, you know, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a PR guy. I'm just spitting out some ideas that would have been better than what Blizzard did. And then to make matters worse, when they voice their discontent, the guy up on stage is like, "Do you guys not have phones?" Like, really, guy? That's the thing to do when your fans aren't happy. And the guy, there was one guy, he's like, "Yeah, this doesn't look like the best thing. It's not what I wanted, but is it going to be on PC?" And they said, "No, it's just for mobile." And everyone's upset about it. You asked, do you not have phones? Yes, Blizzard, we have phones. But guess what? We also have really powerful gaming PCs. Gaming PCs that I know I spent over $1,000 on mine. If I did the math, gosh, I don't want to. Probably closer to 2,000 now. And I'm sure there's others who spent up to $2,000 or more on a very powerful gaming PC. And we spent money on G-Sync monitors and FreeSync monitors and high refresh rate monitors and curved monitors and multi-display setups. And we would rather play our gaming experience on something more immersive, on something that gives a better experience than me playing on a cramped small screen and get my greasy Doritos covered fingerprints all over my screen of my Pixel 3 XL. Okay? Yeah, a little flex there. Okay? But okay. So, that's my 2 bits on it, but why am I weighing in on this? Well, because I got pulled I got pulled into the vortex that is the shitstorm of the Diablo Immortal reveal. And so I was lurking on the comments section of Jeremy's video from a couple days ago. Again, this was on my wife's birthday. That's why it took me a while before I posted this. That and getting over being sick and work. Okay, I have a real job and it doesn't involve YouTube. Um, anyways, so I was watching this video, the entitled Gamers Rant. Okay, and if you don't watch this guy, I'd recommend check him out because he's awesome. He's done a lot of good stuff. He puts up a lot of content. I mean, if you subscribe to him, you're definitely gonna get your your time's worth of it because he puts up a lot of stuff. I mean, this guy is a monster when it comes to uploading content. I just wish I had the dedication, and maybe if I wasn't working a full time career besides YouTube, I would have the time to do so. But I don't. But this guy, he's a beast. I mean, this guy will upload 3 videos, and they're good quality videos. So what started it was there was a comment here from Eggman. This actually looks like the one of the highlighted replies. And he says it's hardly entitlement to want a product that isn't a subpar product, especially as a paying customer and fan. And so there was people replying to it, and it was ranging from either side. But there's this guy, and I'm going to call him out because, he called me out here on this public forum. So it's not like he sent me a private message. So there's no privacy to respect. He's already put himself out there. All right. So I'm putting that out there that's why I'm going ahead and not blanking out names here. Okay. So he was replying to a user named John Galt, and he says, this is from WWG Marcus. I'm not miserable because I'm a normal person. If a game company makes a game I do not like, I don't buy it. I don't cry about it. Why do you folks cry so much? So I'm going to stop right there. Okay. First off, why do you folks cry so much? That's like, I mean, that's the equivalent of saying to one black person who said one thing, you people always do this. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you folks? And I'm not saying the guy's racist. I'm saying what he's done is put people into a monolithic group, right? Made a group of people as a monolith, right? So these are individual people with individual opinions. But this individual person, random guy on the internet that made an opinion, and he had said, he had made a comment about, well, you're gonna like the garbage they like, or you're going to like the garbage they make, and how dare you question it, was the comment this guy made. And so this guy said, why do you folks cry so much? Okay, so he's broad brushed this entire group based off one person's opinion on the internet. That's strike one. Then he says, made a judgment. You guys cry so much. All of you cry so much. And then he goes on to say, you do in fact act like entitled children, and the writer is 100% correct. Okay, so apparently calling out criticism makes you entitled children. And then he goes on to say, the writer is 100% correct. Well, no. Even if you agree with this writer, I don't care if you agree or disagree with this guy. Oh, yeah, and he made these words big. Grow up. That's what he highlighted. Grow up. I don't care whether you agree or disagree with this guy. No one is 100% correct. He could have some valid points in here, which he does here and there. Even I can admit that, even though I think this whole article is freaking garbage. He has one or two valid points, and that's the way they work is they will put in one or two valid points, but then, when you say stuff like, you don't have to play it, but whining online makes you sound like a literal infant. Okay. So you're saying, when you say a literal infant, that means you literally, like, actually sound like a baby that's actually crying. I read the comments here. No one is crying like an actual baby. I've watched these videos. I don't see Jeremy crying like an actual baby. So when you use the term literal, that means you literally actually sound like a baby or like an infant. None of these fans sound like an infant. I didn't see anyone flip over their tray and say, I don't want it, mommy. No one said that. That would be sounding like a little infant. So this guy, it's really hard to take you seriously when you say someone's 100% right, and hard to take this author seriously when he's saying that people that voice criticism sound like a literal infant. It's like Alex Jones. Okay, Alex Jones is like he's like a TV character, honestly. I mean, he's a character of a character. He's a caricature. When he said Hillary smells like literal sulfur. Okay? Well, no one's going to take you seriously, Alex Jones, if you say Hillary Clinton literally smells like sulfur. And she's literally a demon. Same here. I can't take this crap seriously when you're saying that people that criticize something or say that they're not happy with something sound like a literal infant. And then this freaking idiot says, like entitled children, the writer is 100% correct. No one's 100% correct. And I just showed you one instance just in that line in the article alone that I don't see anyone crying literally like infants. I don't see anyone throwing a tantrum in diapers with a bottle or a passy or a whoopee. So, here was my response. I put voicing dissent, disagreement, or disappointment with product that the vast majority of the fan base didn't ask for, and then being insulted and verbally or in writing attacked doesn't make one an entitled child. It just makes one someone who can make an honest evaluation and voice criticism. Now, if someone said we need to attack or dox the devs, which I'm telling you guys, don't attack or dox any of these people. Okay? It's not worth it. I'm replying back to this. This is a response. This is calling people out, but I'm not attacking or harassing anyone. Okay? And I ask that you please don't do the same. Don't do that. Okay? Now, if someone said we need to attack or dox the devs or destroy property because they made something we don't like or agree with, then that's acting like a child. Now, who is attacking, harassing, or doxing people that don't agree with them? I wonder. I think that's a reasonable point. And apparently there was, several people that agreed with me. I got quite a few likes in this thread. All right? Not the most, but I got some honest feedback. I didn't get any dislikes. And then this guy goes on. You made an honest evaluation on a game you've never played? That's some superpower you have there. And why nobody takes your complaints seriously. Because as much as you may feel them, facts matter, and the fact is, you don't even know what you're complaining about or saying you don't like. Okay, so let me break that down here. First off, don't talk about feelings and facts like you're trying to be like Ben Shapiro, because you've brought no logic to the table with this statement. I don't claim to have a superpower. I don't claim to have evaluated the game that I've never played. I've made an assessment on the knowledge I have at hand. And then he goes, nobody takes your complaints seriously. Okay, so here I've been lumped into this group of angry Diablo fans, which I'm not an angry Diablo fan. But I think the Diablo fans that are angry about it have a right to be angry and have a right to voice their criticism. That's what I am. Okay, but I've been lumped into this group. As much as you may feel about them, facts matter, and the facts don't even know. You don't even know what you're complaining about. Okay, so here's my response. I didn't say I made an evaluation on shit, guy, although others have. I can make an evaluation on the information I have on hand. NetEase is developing this game. NetEase has made other low-quality Diablo clone-style games that are grindy as frick and full of microtransactions and other generally cancerous gaming trends, loot boxes, monetization, etc. I've seen extensive gameplay video of the game since the reveal, and it looks more than a little similar to one of their games and List of God. I've also seen it compared to another one of their games, and I can't be bothered to know the title of it right now. But they made another game that's just another action RPG Diablo clone that it looks just like it. Okay, it looks like they took like elements from Endless God and their other Diablo wannabe and reskinned it with Diablo stuff. You know, some Diablo monsters. I wouldn't be surprised if it's very limited on the amount of actual enemies, and it'll probably be reskins of probably the same 7 or 8 enemies, and they'll just be different colored or reskinned or tougher versions. I could be pleasantly surprised and be wrong, but I've played some of these other games, and they're very low effort. And looking at the Diablo Immortal gameplay footage, it looks very low effort. And I put here in parentheses, supposedly built from the ground up, quote unquote, for Diablo franchise. That's Blizzard's words, not mine. I looked at the gameplay. It doesn't look like it was built from the ground up for Diablo franchise. It looks like nothing more than a reskin of said Diablo clone with the Diablo name slapped onto it for a quick cash grab. And for frick's sake, man, stop the virtual signaling for these corporations and game journos. Unless you're a paid shill, they don't give a flying frick about you other than your money lining their shareholders' pockets. So, that was my response, along with this video, because let me tell you something. This goes out to all the games, quote unquote, journalists. I use that phrase very loosely, because they're nothing more than, honestly, games bloggers or vloggers, if you ask me. Some of them are less than that. They're paid shills. And if you don't believe me, that the games journalism is mostly paid shills now, and nothing more than an extended arm of the PR firm of these big game developers, go look at what happened to, oh gosh, there was a UK company that reported on a leak from Red Dead Redemption 2, did their job, reported on a leak, regardless of how they got the leak, they reported on the story. They verified it was factual. It was indeed factual before they released it. And they got sued for £1 million by Take-Two Media. So you see what happens when you don't fall in line and you don't shill out for these big corporations. You're going to get hit with a lawsuit or threatened with litigation. But that's another topic, and I digress. But games journalists and supposed gamers, look, these game companies, these multi-million games companies, they don't need you white knighting or virtual signaling for them, okay? They have PR firms. They have lawyers. They have more assets and resources than you could ever imagine. So unless you're in their damn pocket, which I start to question your intention when you're personally attacking people that criticize a company like this freaking shit, this is shit. This is not journalism. This is let's attack people. This is not where is the journalism here? All you're doing is basically using your forum to bully people that criticize the game with legitimate complaints. And you're personally attacking them. So I really question Mashable and Mr. Kellen Beck, your intentions, and question your integrity when you're sitting here attacking people that criticize a product that looks like shit on a plate. I mean, it really, I'm not going to say it literally looks like shit on a plate. No, it looks like garbage. It looks like a low effort, soulless cash grab that is going to make a quick buck. And this game is, as much as it was ill received, we all know that this thing is going to be lucrative when it comes out. Even if it's not lucrative in the Western world, it is going to make a crap ton of money in China and Asia, because Japan and China are the two biggest mobile markets, and even Japan is the console is slowly dying in Japan. And so in Asia, this thing is going to clean up like gangbusters. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are like kind of casually interested in Diablo, and they're going to want to check out this game. Oh, I've heard about Diablo. I think it's a good game, or I've heard it's a good game. I'll check this out. And I think the problem that most of these, base fans, the base that is Diablo fans, is that people are going to play this game and they've never played Diablo, and they're going to think that this is what Diablo is like. That this is what Diablo is about. A linear action RPG, loot heavy, grind heavy, which from what I've heard, the original Diablo series is loot heavy and grind heavy, but it wasn't monetization heavy. And this is looking like it's going to be that. This guy goes on to like just attack a lot of other people, this WWG Marcus, which again, seriously, man. Really? I mean, if you have to go on here and attack people that disagree, it makes me wonder, are you in freaking Blizzard's pocket? Are you a paid shill? Are you a paid troll? Because these companies do that crap. And if you don't think so, just look at what Blizzard did with Diablo Immortal reveal, with the dislikes. They took away all the negative comments. They deleted them. They manipulated interaction feedback stats. And all you have to do is go on that YouTube spy program that shows you the stats for all the videos. And the votes don't add up. But what I'm going to say is this. These multi-million-dollar corporations have lawyers. They have PR departments. They have resources to react to this kind of feedback. And people giving feedback saying that this is not what they wanted, or not being happy that it's not coming to PC, that's legitimate feedback. That's legitimate criticism. And it doesn't entitle you to go attacking them verbally or making articles attacking people and then passing it off as journalism. This is not journalism. What are you reporting on? You're bullying people and using your platform to do it, Mashable, and it's freaking disgusting. It's disgusting. You are expected to be objective when it comes to the reporting of this stuff. Unless you're giving a game review. If you're giving a game review, then in that case, yes, your opinion is warranted. because you are reviewing your game and your impressions on the game. But attacking people for not agreeing with what your initial impression of the game is, that's not journalism. It's not games journalism. And it really makes me question your intentions, Mashable, and some of these other kind of shill networks that, I mean, I question if you are a shill because you're not reporting anything, you're not being objective, and you're being biased, but then not claiming your bias. Every media outlet, and it could be politics, it could be games, it could be anything, it's going to have some bias or opinion. The key is, as a journalist, you either have to, one, be upfront about your bias and say, hey, this is my opinion, so just know this is my viewpoint on this stance or issue before you report on it. But this is, in the words of Big Lebowski, well, that's just your opinion, man. And someone having a different opinion doesn't make them an entitled crybaby. It doesn't make them a child. It just makes someone who thinks that Diablo Immortal looks like shit and looks like a lazy cash grab. Because that's what it looks like. That doesn't make me an entitled baby. And I, on a personal level, am not invested in Diablo. The last thing I'm going to cover is this, and I'm going to address this point. Up here, no, down here. This paragraph here. And there was a guy on Twitter that was saying the same crap, and I can't remember this guy, and I can't be bothered to go back in my Twitter feed and look him up, but there was another guy saying the same thing. He was a games journalist. I don't know who he works for, and I really don't care. He was saying the same shit, so he's probably in... I wouldn't be surprised if he's in Blizzard's pocket or Activision's pocket. And he goes, you are entitled to nothing. Game companies owe you nothing. You don't just get to have whatever you want and then throw a tantrum when your personal dreams don't come true. That's where you're wrong, Mr. Kevin Bennett. Kellenbeck, whatever the frick your name is. Mr. Kellenbeck. That's where you're wrong. And Mr. WWG Marcus saying that we are entitled crybabies. That's where you're wrong. No, these companies do owe us. They owe the fans and the customers a good product. They owe the loyal fans, the ones who put them where they are today, a good product. And you want to know why? Because I don't care what you make. You can make a car, you can make video games, you can make anything. You can provide a service. You can provide a product. If you don't have customers to buy your service or product, you aren't shit. You are nothing without the customers that buy your products. Do you hear me, game companies? Do you hear me, supposed game journalists? You owe the customers everything. Same thing with these journalists that are supposed to be reporting on games news. You owe your readers a fair shake. And calling your readers out for being dissatisfied with the product, are dissatisfied that it's not coming to the platform that they care about, and then calling them crybabies and saying they sound like a little infant, you owe your readers better than that. Because we click on the ads on your articles. We are buying the products that you link in your affiliate links. We help generate the revenue when we click on your ads, when we buy the products that you affiliate with. Without readers, Mashable, Kotaku, Polygon, any other news outlet, without your readers, you aren't shit. You aren't shit. I don't care if you're the biggest corporation or company in the games industry. If you don't have customers buying your product, if you don't have people buying your product, you can have the best product in the world. If customers have lost trust in you as a company or as an institution, you're gonna go out of business. So yes, game companies do owe us something. They owe us a good product. They owe us a good product. They owe us a quality product. And they owe us that. It's us that don't owe game companies anything. You as a customer, you as a consumer, don't owe these companies shit. If you don't want their game, if you don't want their product, vote with your wallets, customers, and don't buy the shit that they're serving you, that they're claiming is gold. Vote with your wallet. Because you can sit here and complain on forums all you want, but if you buy their stuff, well then that's all they're going to listen to is your money. The money speaks louder than anything to these companies, especially since Blizzard's been bought by Activision. And if you think that Blizzard is still the same Blizzard from 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, I'm sad to tell you, it's not. You know, when Mark Kern, who's the director for Diablo 2, is, you know, criticizing what's going on in Blizzard today, that's like a past president criticizing the current president. You know something's wrong. Okay? All right, so it's not the same Blizzard that you probably knew, loved, grew up with, that cared about its customers, that cared about making a good game, that cared about providing a good product to its customers, that wanted to appeal to gamers. It's not. But they do owe us a good product. We are owed a good product, just like From Eggman said here. It's hardly entitlement to want a product that isn't a subpar product, especially as a paying customer and a fan. So listen up, Blizzard. Your fans put you where you are today. You are the successful company you are today because of your fans that bought your products prior, played them, loved them, supported you. So when you abandon your fans who supported you and insult them by asking, do you guys not have phones? Or at least fail to listen to their criticism, which most of it's legitimate. Most of this is reasonable stuff. It's legitimate concerns and complaints. Concerns that it's going to be monetized. And the fact that they said, oh, well, they gave the non-answer of, well, we haven't quite figured out how we're going to monetize Diablo Immortal. Come on, man. You know they're going to monetize the shit out of that with microtransactions. I wouldn't even have a problem with Diablo Immortal if it was like a complete game that when I paid the upfront cost, I got a complete product. I would try it out. Even if it wasn't like a full-fledged Diablo experience. I'm not expecting that on a phone, but just give me a complete product and charge me up front for it. And I know I'm talking crazy talk in 2018. But there was one time when games were a product, not games as a service or service industry. And now it's become a serve us industry. And when I say serve us, I don't mean us, the customers, the buying customers. I mean us, the investors. Serve us, the shareholders, serve us, the CEOs and bigwigs in these multi-million or sometimes billion-dollar companies. So that's my 2 cents on it. And this has gone on way longer than I wanted to. And there's so many other videos I need to get to. I need to finish up my benchmarks for my 2080 review. But I really just wanted to weigh in on this, especially since I got sucked into the Diablo Immortal shitstorm for posting a comment. I felt like I needed to weigh in on this and give my 2 cents on it. And that's about all it's worth. I mean, I'm really a small YouTuber. Even my other channel that before I switched over to this channel, I was only at like 155 subs. You know, and honestly, even the several subs I have, I'm thankful for every single one of you. I would not have anything if y'all did not subscribe, if y'all did not click on my affiliate links. All right, and a couple of y'all did, and I appreciate every single one of you. And unlike these journalists and these companies, I do appreciate those who watch my videos. And if you stayed here and watched this whole long ass video, I want to thank you. And if you want to see more, this is kind of off the path of what I've been doing. I've been doing mostly reviews and tutorials, and I just wanted to do kind of a talking head video without you looking at my ugly ass head. Um, but yeah, that's my 2 cents, and I just wanted to thank you. Subscribe, click like, share, get the word out there. This is Josh the Tryin Tech, signing off.